What I have experienced in the first 6 months of living here in South Florida. Let's roll 'em. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Pay Yourself Back. I'm CeeLos, and I'm a firm believer that in order for you to be happy in this life, you have to have a balance of mental and spiritual wellness. Now, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, so if you find yourself offended throughout this video, I got a box of Kleenex right here. Go ahead and grab a couple of them and dry your eyes, because I'm going to tell it like it is. Now, I just decided to break this video down basically into two categories: the good and the not so good, and maybe a couple of honorable mentions in between. Okay, so under these categories, I'm gonna do like 3 topics. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and go with the not so good first. I know you guys always want the bad first, so let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, employment. Expect to be unemployed for a little while if you move to South Florida, unless you come here like from an outside agency like the state or the government, or maybe like a private sector. Then you'll be all right, you know. But otherwise, expect to be unemployed for a little while, because to me it seems like it takes a while. There's plenty of jobs down here, but the problem seems like is that it takes so long for you to get into the system. You'll get a job, it just takes a while. The other problem that I see is that the salaries do not match the job description. I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about, so I kill all the questions. The title says blah 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 manager, blah 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 coordinator, blah 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 logistics supervisor, and if the education requirements, these are professional positions that I've seen. All of them require, not here, but in most places that I've been, all of them require some type of degree, whether it's associate's, bachelor's, MBA, or whatever. If it says high school diploma or GED, the salaries, that does not match. And I've been seeing a lot of that, and I don't understand why. No offense to my high school and GED guys, because, you know, I have a high school diploma, I also have a bachelor's degree, and the salaries don't match that. And I think that's part of the reason why they can underpay you, because the education requirements are not matching the job description. And I think that's what they go off of. I don't know, but it just seems strange to me. So kind of expect that. Number 2, customer service. I talked about this in my first video. If you haven't seen my first video, my first 30 days here in South Florida, go ahead and check that video out as well. Customer service still sucks. 6 months worth of it still sucks. Nothing has changed. Politeness just doesn't seem to be one of the strong points about South Florida. I mean, you go into some of these businesses and these people behind the counter are looking at you like, what do you want? You know, my dog is sick. My child's got the chicken pop. I come into this place and you're like, so customer service still sucks. Just get used to it. Number 3, the driving experience. I can spend the entire video talking about this, but I won't. Let's just put it this way. If you come from a state where you're used to road rage and you come here to South Florida, you can probably amp that up, multiply that by either 50 or 100, because you're going to be behind your freaking wheel every day you get in your car and get on these streets, especially if you're on 95 or the Turnpike, or even going down one of these University or Douglas or whatever. You're gonna be yeah, you expect it, because the traffic is bad. And to all my fellow Floridians and my peeps, I don't know if you guys heard of this thing, but I think that this technology has been around since about 2010. It's called Bluetooth hands-free. You ever heard of that? Nah, I didn't think so. But it's all you do is you pair your phone with your car's hands-free system, and it works quite well. Let me just say, if you have, let's just say, a 2018 Cadillac or 2018 Lexus, these fancy luxury cars and SUVs, which I know have Bluetooth, hands-free capabilities in them because I have one. It's not a Cadillac or nothing like that, but I have. Anyway, so if you are rolling down the street in your new Cadillac and you're on the phone, you're holding the phone up to your ear like this, I want you at this time, if you're watching this video or if you're watching it later, whatever, take your hand, hold it up, cock it back, and slap the shit out of yourself. And you say, well, dang, Carlos, all these bad things, man, what's so good about it? Well, for one, let's go into the good. Number one, Florida speaks for itself. It's probably one of the most beautiful places within the continental U.S. that you ever know or you'll ever see or you'll ever visit. First of all, it speaks for itself. It's a beautiful place. Number two, there's always something to do here, man. It's just unbelievable. Monday through Sunday, there's always something to do. You can look at these event calendars, whether it's something in Fort Lauderdale or whether it's something in Miami. There's always something to do. Entertainment, concerts, events, there's always something to do. I mean, even if you're a water person, you like the ocean and stuff, man. Oh, man, if you like, hey, boating, if you like being on the water, all day long, baby, and the weather is nice. Number three, the food. As I talked about in my first video, the food, because there's so many, it's a multicultural state. Oh man, the food is great. Caribbean food, Mexican food, Puerto Rican food, Cuban, you name it. It's all down there. You're gonna get fat, man. And one thing I will say, if you guys like myself are vegan and vegetarian, you better hurry up and get your own place so you can cook and prepare your own food, because there's not a lot of focus on vegetarian and vegan. They try to incorporate them into some of these menus here, but realistically speaking, it's not really. I mean, you know, some of these places where they have vegetarian and vegan foods, and you just, you know, and they have their meat, and then they have their vegetarian side. So that's one of the good things. At least they do incorporate those two type of eating or diets into their menu, which is a good thing. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist, it doesn't take a person to live here for years to figure out what really South Florida is kind of about. I've been around for a long time, and it doesn't take me long to figure out nothing. So I just thought I would make this video. I'm gonna come back and do another one in another 6 months, and then we'll see how things go. And so I'm gonna come back and do the last video as far as my experience here. I told you I was gonna do three videos, my first 30 days, 6 months, and then the year mark. And so I'm gonna come back and do that one for you. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you really enjoyed it. My subscribers, thank you for supporting me. And for those of you who have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe at this time. And with that being said, I think that's about it. I'm getting ready to wrap it up, guys. Thanks again. Be well, my friend. C-Los out, baby.